Hi, I'm Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings. Today, we welcome to the VOA Music Alley Studios singer-songwriter Fantine. Born in Russia and raised in Australia, Fantine made her debut in 2011 with a song called Rubber Room that appeared on Australian TV shows and earned her a Video Clip of the Week honor. In 2013, she relocated to Miami, Florida, and teamed with 19-time Grammy Award-winning producer Emilio Estefan for their debut studio album, I Am Fantine. This year, she recorded a song with Wyclef and also saw her dance chart hit Reservation for Two reach the top 5 on Billboard. She joins us today and will perform music from her new CD. So stay tuned for Fantine coming up on Border Crossings. Hi, I'm Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings. In our studios, a very, very talented, beautiful young lady who is out promoting her latest single. We'd like to welcome to Washington, D.C., Fantine. It's great to have you here.
Yay, hello.
Hello, and welcome to D.C. Congratulations on all the great music. You've been putting out singles for a while now, I guess 4 or 5 years?
I know, yes. It's the name of the game, apparently. Singles is where it's at, so it's what I'm doing. I do hope to put out a full album really soon, though.
And that's what we're hoping for,
yes,
is a full studio album. And you've been on tour, or are you just doing promotion for the new single? What's been going on?
Yeah, I'm touring, but it's a promotional tour. So unfortunately, no actual shows in DC or, but maybe next time.
Yeah, well, I watched the video for the latest single.
Yeah.
And very hot. And there's a lot going on. It's busy, and you are obviously a very beautiful girl. And all of the different effects, you're in a champagne glass.
I know.
And then there's a baseball mitt on you. And then
I noticed that.
Yeah, I picked that up. And there's all kinds of things happening in that video.
Yeah. I mean, the thing was that we were trying to have a bit of fun with the concept of the video. And, it's about being beautiful and being in the spotlight. But at the same time, I kind of realized that the media can be a very hard place for a woman, and how the body gets utilized to promote different things, whether it be sports or music or entertainment or a product. And so we were just trying to kind of take it to the extreme where towards the end, you just see like limbs and bits and pieces and things sticking out of places, and you're just like, wow, this is how kind of what it happens, the female body just gets dissected into little pieces.
And you had one part of the video, and maybe you can't let me know the secrets of Hollywood, but the legs were coming out of a stair, and then the body was at another stair. Yeah. So I'm thinking there must have been 2.
I can't tell you.
Can't tell me the
was.
secrets, huh?
But yes, the idea was to create that effect of the body's being dissected in half, and it's just like laying on the stairs. So, yeah, it's I don't know. I hope that people like it.
I liked it a lot.
Good.
And it was quite different than the previous single, Reservation for Two. It was a very different song. In the first one that I watched, you were a waitress and serving different people, talking about love, talking about romance.
Yeah.
And then the next one was a dance thing with Wyclef.
Yes, I know. And that just kind of goes towards the whole thing of being diverse and just going with what I kind of feel and love. And I think music, it's nice when you don't have to be pigeonholed into oh, she just sings soul. What, people look at me and they're like, so what do you, I say I'm a singer, and what do you sing? I bet you it's R&B or something. And I'm like, well, I sing jazz and I sing soul and pop and sometimes rock. I've never had to sing any kind of heavy metal because that's hard on my voice, but I'm sure that I'd give it a shot if given the opportunity.
And you've been at some jazz festivals, I guess, a number of years ago, and then you've done touring with Erykah Badu and quite a few other folks as well.
Yeah.
So you do have a diverse background.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So I supported Erykah Badu when I lived in Sydney. She was playing at the Opera House, and I had the pleasure of supporting her. I was on tour with Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics. And, he was touring with Stevie Nicks around Australia, so I got to be part of that tour, and that was fun. So a lot of different, things. I think I always just try to experience music as widely as possible, so that I can absorb it and kind of, create something new as well. And
you're also a part of, well, I guess I use the reference to the Miami Sound Machine. The band no longer exists, but you live in Miami, and you worked with a very famous music family from Miami, from the area. So how did that connection come about? What is your connection to Emilio and Gloria?
Well, right now I like to think it's friendly, very friendly, you know. Whereas back when we just started, you know, to me, Gloria was just like a massive idol, and to have had the opportunity to actually meet her, and not only meet her, but then to work with her, and for her to offer to write some songs that are on the album that are not released yet. To me, that was just like very extraordinary and quite humbling, in the sense that she was like, here's some songs that I wrote for you. I'm an international artist, but I think these will do great for you. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't say I'm an international artist, but that's who she is. And so I suppose what that taught me is just how cool it is that you can get so big and still remain very real.
And I looked at your Facebook page, and I assume you have control over what's out on the Facebook page. It describes your music as electro soul.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that description?
I would say that maybe it's becoming, because when I was living in Australia, it really was just electro soul. But since I started working with Emilio, we've fused some of my Latin side into it. So it's becoming more like electro soul, but with a Latin twist. So I'd say that it's more like that.
And mom is Dominican, dad is from Russia. So,
yeah.
Wow, what an eclectic mix.
I know. And growing up in Australia, that just adds to it. So,
if you wouldn't mind doing a song for us, we'd love to hear it.
Yes, I'd love to do it. Well, I'm going to might as well start with What a Day, which is the single. And as you said, it's a, you know, pumping track and all that. And we are experimenting with putting it into this acoustic setting.
Sure.
And I think it's good. It's different.
An exclusive.
Yeah, it's an exclusive.
Here's Fantine on Border Crossings.
I'm back on my MPC, Miami Beach, I'm 93, spring break, you know how I do, my crew too live, ask Uncle Luke, yeah, she's live for the party for the DJ, you call me too short, but I run the bay, now where my ladies at, making them big bucks, staying loaded like Lux, staying loaded like Lux. My product is so physical, my body is my asset. My feelings are so hidden, no, my body isn't. And when I'm strutting, whining, glitter, blinding, struck by lightning, so exciting, extra flirty, never dirty when you come around. And I could take your, hey, and I could take your credit card, rubber band money, don't matter to me, I could be a playboy bunny. Credit card, rubber band money, don't matter to me, I could be a private dancer for money. I'm just trying to make $1 a day. 'Cause it's hard in the city, ain't nobody giving nothing away. Private dancer for money, I'm just trying to make $1 a day. 'Cause it's hard in the city, ain't nobody giving nothing away. Welcome to my champagne room, victory, no it monsoon. Keep your hands to yourself, you're my favorite 'cause you pay well. And when I'm strutting, whining, glitter, blinding, struck by lightning, so exciting, extra flirty, never dirty. When you come around, I could take your credit card, rubber band money, it don't matter to me, I could be a playboy bunny. Credit card, rubber band money, it don't matter to me, I could be your private dancer for money. I'm just trying to make $1 a day. 'Cause it's hard in the city, ain't nobody giving nothing away. Private dancer for money, I'm just trying to make $1 a day. 'Cause it's hard in the city, ain't nobody giving nothing away. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a crazy day, what a day, what a day. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a crazy day, what a day, what a day. Private dancer for money, I'm just trying to make $1 a day. 'Cause it's hard in the city,
sounding great. Fantine, live here on Border Crossings with an original exclusive version of What a Day,
Yeah.
the new single. The album is called I Am Fantine.
Yeah.
You don't have a release date?
No, not yet. To be honest, like I think it's great that in today's kind of media environment, it's very fluid and very flexible, and so you can change things as you go. You can add new tracks, you can remove tracks, and be fluid. So the album is complete; it's all finished, but the fact that it's so fluid and it's not set in stone was what gave me the opportunity to work with Wyclef and add these new songs that came about much later to the album and actually work on promoting them now rather than in 2 years' time or whatever it is when they're not even current anymore.
Right. He's a trip, Wyclef. I've had him on the show before. He's a lot of fun. Yeah, he's been on the show.
He's very chill, right?
Yeah, he is. He's a lot of fun, and Clefication is something he was working on when we were talking. But so, I mean, what advice did he give you? What did you get from working with Wyclef?
It was quite an experience, and he just said, "Look, I just want to capture your voice, just like how you sound. That's why it's kind of low." And I took the song up a little bit the way I sung it now because I feel that way. I just felt like singing it that way. But on the record, it's quite mellow, and I'm quite mellow like that in the way that I talk. It's and sing, and so he was like, "Yeah, I just want to capture something different, something like that." And yeah, that's kind of what happened.
And you've surrounded yourself with quite a lot of very well-to-do, successful people, not only Gloria Estefan and Emilio Estefan, but Wyclef and all the others that you mentioned earlier. How have you learned or grown from those different experiences that you've had? Because you were in a jazz group when you started, so obviously at some point you took a turn. You decided this is not the sound I want to pursue.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Jazz is my life, and I love jazz.
Is?
Yes, jazz to me is like my baby. It's what I do. It's what I sing when I'm in the garage. You know,
right? All right.
And it's what I sing in the shower, and it's what I always fall back to at sound checks. You know what I mean? And I don't think I'd ever let it go. But I also love to write and be creative, and jazz has this kind of, I don't write jazz per se because I think the standards are so great. So I suppose it's like two different sides of the same thing. I get to do jazz and perform, in smaller kind of intimate settings, or I get to do pop or soul or funk and be on like massive, large stages and entertain people. It's a different kind of energy, and as you were mentioning, working with all these different artists, that gave me the opportunity to actually get that kind of experience, because being on stage at the Opera House is not the same as being at the Blue Note, and being at the Blue Note is not the same as being at a festival, you know what I mean? And all these things are so vastly different and have such a different energy, and it's all a learning curve. You have to really be there in order to experience that and be like, okay, I've done this, now I know what that's like, and not be like a rabbit in the headlights and you're like yeah.
Well, the moving around that you've done also has to have influenced your sound, your music, as you become a part of your surroundings. I mean, growing up in Moscow, then moving, as you did, to Australia and living there for a while, and then coming to Miami. Everywhere's a little different.
Yeah, and those are vastly different places. Russia is, Moscow, I can't speak for the whole of Russia because it's a very big country. But Moscow is, one of those buzzing, huge cities with like enormous streets and buildings and everything, and it's a happening town, and it's also like a hard town. The weather is like very cold, and then you get maybe like 3 weeks of summer.
That's it, huh?
I mean, you get a little bit more, but if you're lucky, and then you go to Australia, and over there everything is chill. Everyone's just like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the beach, I'm gonna have some beer, let's go. And we've got the best cafe culture in the world. By the way, they do great food for like coffee and this cheese called halloumi. And then you come to Miami and it's a whole different ballpark.
Right.
Again, it's like party town, and it's glitzy and kind of glamorous, and everyone's got their cars, and the girls are beautiful and the water is fantastic. So, yeah.
Fantine is with us on Border Crossings, promoting an upcoming album to be released in, let's say, 2016. Is
Yeah,
that a
let's
safe,
say that. That's
guess?
safe.
And if you wouldn't mind doing another song?
Yeah, I'd
like
love
hear
to.
something.
Okay, well, this is a Reservation for Two,
Great.
which you would have also heard. So let's do Reservation for Two, yeah? Do you have a second to talk about it? Made a reservation, so please sit down. I am not a painting upon your wall. I am not a trophy for you to hold on to. For two, it's a reservation for two. Just you and me, you and me. Always at the doorway with your trash. Left me at a dinner with no cash. I can only trust you to always bring me down. Now you're gonna listen to me for once. Are you gonna fix it with one more dance? Take another gamble now that the stakes are high. Don't you look away when I am talking to you. For two, it's a reservation for two. Just you and me, you and me, two. For two, it's a reservation for two. Just you and me, you and me. It's a reservation for two. Just you and me.
Sounding beautiful. Looking lovely. Fantine is on Border Crossings. And so the name Fantine, where does that come from? What's the origins of Fantine? That's an interesting name.
Thank you. It's French. And actually, often people think I'm French because I speak French and because my name's French. So like, you must be French. I'm like, no, actually, I'm not. But it's from Victor Hugo's a novel, Les Misérables. Mm-hmm. Les Misérables. Mm-hmm. And of course, the musical. And so my character's name is Fantine, and she's Cosette's mother. So the main character's mother. It's a very sad story, hers. I hope I don't follow down the same path. But the name is very nice, and I'm really glad my mother named me that because it suits my work.
Mm-hmm. Now, you have a beautiful voice. Professionally trained, or is that you just picked up that great voice on your own through singing the songs throughout your life?
When I was in, I actually went to music school for a very short period of time. It's called the Western Australian Academy of Performing Arts. It's a big deal. It's a good school. I didn't stay there for long because I had to move on and do other stuff. But we had a clinic there, and one of the things that one of the guest visitors came that were talking to us, they were saying there's going to be three kinds of kids that come to this school, and there's going to be the very talented ones who just wing it. They're talented and they wing it, so they're going to sound good. Then there's going to be the ones that are okay, but they're practicing so hard that they excel as good as the ones with natural talent. And then there are the ones with natural talent who work so hard and they bust their hump every day and really, really put a lot of effort into it. And they're the ones that go on to be great. And when I heard that, I was like, I want to be one of those people. So I'm trained in some way, but I also do a lot of personal training, and I have my vocal coach now, and I do my vocal exercises every day. That's
great voice. You sound a little bit like Toni Braxton. I hear a little Alicia Keys. I mean, some very soulful, beautiful sounding voice.
Thank you.
And you do so many different things. You write. And are you producing the new album? Are they giving you a hand in the production of it?
I like to work with producers. In fact, that's my favorite way to write, is for me to write lyrics and melody, and for me to work with a producer who will produce most of the track. But I do have a say in the sounds that go in. I like live instrumentation. I like strings. I like real horns. But I also get that the sound of an 808, nothing can beat that. It's like, so yeah, I do have a hand in it, but I wouldn't dare to just produce a track all by myself, and maybe in the future someday. But.
And who are you listening to? I mean, where do you get your inspiration musically?
I listen to everything, from artists, contemporary artists, even like, for instance, the other day I was listening to Justin Bieber's "Where Are You Now." That track is crazy. I was learning it, and I'm like, what is going on with this track?
Right.
This track is insane. And so, it just kind of, I'm not a musical snob. I like jazz as much as the next jazz snob, but I also like pop music and soul and R&B and anything really. But I think one of my biggest influences is probably Sia.
Sure.
I think if I could have any kind of career path, I would love to follow in her footsteps, and because I think that she's an incredible writer, an amazing singer, and it's not about looking glamorous or
you need
being
a big
out there.
wig if you want
I know.
to see it.
Well, I'll have a big curly one
there
instead.
You go.
I've got it. And so she does something really well, and I used to listen to her back when I was in Australia before, when she was still producing kind of in Australia, I think, and I was already in love with her then, and now I'm in love with her now.
Right. Well, she's easy to love. Her music.
I know,
great.
right? Oh my God.
Now, you had referenced Justin Bieber, who is now putting out a new album that's, he said, going to be more EDM, electronic dance music, and you yourself have been in the top 5 on the dance charts.
Right.
Are you worried about getting in that lane? You earlier on said you don't want to get pigeonholed. Or locked into a box. Now, because you've put out some great dance tracks and had success with that.
Yeah. I think that people will look for what they like to hear. So people who are into dance music and as like EDM or all whatever kind of stuff, they'll look for that, and that's what they'll find. And so they'll find my my club tracks and all that. And people who want to hear jazz or soul will find that. And I think that thankfully, media and the internet allows me to be as diverse as I want to be. So I don't know. I mean, I remember listening to Janelle Monáe's album, like the one she released a few years back, and that was an eclectic thing. It had an overture, it had soul, it had vocal things, it had everything, and nobody was like, gee, Janelle, why did you do that? Like, we don't like that. It better be one thing, So I think it's nice that artists are given the liberty to just kind of go wherever and do whatever.
Well, good for you. Good for you. People want to follow you online. What are your website addresses?
Well, I have Fantine.com, and that's spelled F for Foxtrot, ANTINE.com. And obviously I'm on all the social media stuff, and it's Fantine Music, one word on everything. I just tried to make it consistent because then I can't even keep track of stuff. So please, if they want to hit me up, I am the one who replies to my messages.
Wow. Well, we'll try and get you 1 million new followers
yes, please.
after this. So.
I'd love 1 million. Just one. It's okay.
Now, you're going to do another song for us, right?
Yes. I was going to do... I have a choice of 2, and I'm...
Can I make a request?
Yeah.
Is your next song going to be Everyday People?
No.
No?
No.
I heard it was through the grapevine.
Everyday People?
Yeah.
Huh. No. I was going to do a different song, also a cover. I was thinking of doing Radiohead Creep, but my kind of way.
All right.
Yeah. Just because I've already done 2 originals, and I was like, yeah, I've never heard these songs before, but I'm sure they've heard this one. So I think I might do that.
It's Fantine.
When you are here alone, couldn't look you in the eye. You float like a feather. Your skin makes me cry. You look like an angel in a beautiful world. I wish I was special, so very special. if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body, and I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around, 'cause you're so very special, and I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? No, I don't belong here. No, 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 no. She's running out the door. She's running, run, 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 run. What the hell am I doing here? No, I don't belong here. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you want, is so very special, and I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? You know, I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
Wow. Very nice.
Thank
Very, very nice. That's outstanding. Fantine is our guest. It's Border Crossings, and you have a lovely voice, and I can't wait to hear the album when it comes out.
Yeah.
I Am Fantine is the name of the album.
Yes.
Look for it in 2016. Again, your website.
Fantine.com. That's F. Not S. Fantine.com or Fantine Music on all social media is going to be fantastic.
Are you planning a tour when the album comes out?
I hope so. I mean, it would not be, it would be very not cute.
Right.
If I release an album and then I just kind of sit at home and watch it go.
World tour, perhaps?
Let's start with one place and then we'll see how the world feels about it. No, world tour. Boom. Let's
World
do
tour.
it.
Think big.
Let's
think big.
Think big. Exactly.
That's it.
Think big to be big.
All right. Well, thank you, Fantine, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being our guest on The Voice of America. I'm Larry London, and this is Border Crossings on VOA TV.